Before this video begins, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Also, be sure to check out my affiliates down below so you can get discounts on different car mods and products. Alrighty, let's get into the review. Hello and welcome. Today we are reviewing a 2017 Jaguar F-Pace. This is a 35T Prestige trim. I would like to thank Flood Ford Lincoln in Narragansett, Rhode Island for allowing me to both review and test drive this vehicle. I will be filming a POV test drive in this Jaguar, coming out soon on the channel, so make sure to check that out. Alrighty, so this Jaguar F-Pace is finished in red with a brown leather interior. It has 69,000 miles on it and currently stickers for around $24,500. This is an all-wheel drive model and is a two-row SUV with seating for 5, competing with the Audi Q5, BMW X3, and the Land Rover Range Rover Evoque in the small SUV class. This weighs in at 4,015 pounds for a curb weight and has a gross weight of 5,512 pounds. As tested, the F-Pace had an MSRP when new in 2017 of about $50,000. This is powered by a 3-liter supercharged V6, making 340 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque. This is mated with a ZF 8-speed automatic with a 0 to 60 time per Jaguar at about 5.4 seconds. This is once again an all-wheel drive model, achieving 18 miles per gallon city, 23 on the highway, and 20 overall out of a 16.6 gallon fuel tank. This rides on 19-inch alloy wheels with 255 wide tires all around, and ventilated disc brakes are on all 4 wheels. This can be equipped with a tow hitch and has a towing capacity of 5,290 pounds. As for safety in here, you get auto high beams, auto emergency braking, and self-leveling headlights. So, the Jaguar F-Pace, this is actually Jaguar's first SUV, starting in the model year of this one, 2017, and is still being produced at the time of filming in 2023. The F-Pace did come with a diesel engine option, but that is less common to find here in the United States. Up front, you get xenon HID headlights, which are once again self-leveling, and you get LED lights in the rear and LEDs for the DRLs up front. This measures in at 186.3 inches long, 81.5 inches wide without the mirrors, 65 inches tall, and has 8.4 inches of ground clearance. It also has 33.5 cubic feet of trunk storage with all seats in place. This comes with a 3.73 axle ratio and a brake-actuated LSD or limited slip differential. This rides on double wishbone suspension up front with multi-link suspension in the rear. It has a dual stainless steel exhaust with chrome tips out in the back, and it does come with a beautiful power panoramic sunroof that is 2 panels. Also outside, you get heated power folding side mirrors. As for the looks on the outside, I think it looks very elegant, but also pretty sporty, especially, I'll put a clip on screen. You can see in the back, it has such an aggressive rear window. It's like a ducktail effect. It has, the spoiler up top, but then it really swoops down for quite a while and outward until you reach the actual rear body panel. So I think that is a very nice touch. Makes it look a lot more sleek, a lot sportier, and yeah, I just think it makes it look more small and agile overall than if it didn't have that. And let's have a step outside. So here on the outside of the F-Pace, this is the first model year. I think it looks pretty good proportions in my opinion. It has large enough wheels at the 19-inch wheels. I think they look very nice. Not too large or overly crazy. For the side profile, I think it looks great. It looks so sleek and so swooping smooth with all those angles. It still has, a couple accents. Right here it has a nice line running through a good chunk of the body, and then it swoops down a bit, picks back up the other way. Overall, for the back, I think it looks pretty good back here as well. I wish maybe they didn't use just this plain black plastic, because obviously it faded a bit over time, just in the sunlight. But overall, I think it looks nice. Here's a nice little touch. They have a subtle mud guard right there, mud flap type of thing. That makes it also look a bit more aerodynamic, probably helps with that. And then here in the back, here's that ducktail type of spoiler here. It's very long, and then it still juts out a great way. It looks like a lot more of a concept car of today in 2023 than it does a standard SUV, and I think it looks really nice because of it. And then it gets 8.4 inches of ground clearance. That's pretty generous at this size of a SUV, getting up there. And then here it has a nice Jaguar badge, of course. And this actually is a functional, semi-functional air vent. It does have some holes punched in there, so it can pull some heat out of that 3-liter supercharged engine. Then up there, you do see the automatic braking. That's going to be right there, those two little trapezoids right there. I like the grille because they use a mix of the modern Jaguar logo up here as well as the classic one out back. No fog lights in here. I find that a bit interesting. Not really a letdown, but I don't know if they offered that in higher trims. This is a pretty moderate trim, so I'm a bit surprised they didn't include that. But otherwise, I think it looks very nice. Nice hints of chrome, nothing overdone. And up top, they kept some gloss black roof rails, which I think looks better than if they kept with chrome. I think that's a good design touch. And yeah, overall, I very much like the side profile. And yeah, we will have a look inside. So here, for your door panel, you actually get, this may be more of a British design, I'm not sure, or just a Jaguar telltale thing, but they actually put their window switches way up here on the top, and then where typical normal window switches would be for most cars, they actually put the seating memory. So this has 3 memory seating positions as well as your lock, unlock for your doors. So that's a pretty interesting spot. It's a very nice panel though. This is soft touch material all through here, nice splash of chrome, nice piece of wood, not sure if it's real, but it looks very nice if not. Here's a plastic door handle, feels pretty solid. And then here's going to be leather stitch with some contrast stitching right here. And then also you do get a Meridian sound system here, so that's Meridian surround audio system. Sounds pretty good. And yeah, over here you get a door sill saying Jaguar. You of course in a Jaguar get full power seats. You get 4-way lumbar support right here. And then that's going to be about it. Then to the left of your steering wheel you get just a climate vent. You get a power trunk button, and here just the light adjustment for your digital gauge cluster. And inside the Jaguar, here for your steering wheel, this is some of the softest, most supple leather I've felt in a long time. It feels very, very nice in hand. And back here you do get some shift paddles. They're just plastic. They feel a little bit cheap for the price in my opinion, but they'll do the job. We'll test those out in the POV drive for their responsiveness. Here you do get a heated steering wheel button, which is cool. A bit of a busy setup here. Nothing too bad, but nothing great. I think they put just a couple too many ridges in these buttons, so they're, I don't know, they look a bit hard to decipher at some points if you're on the road driving quickly, but that's okay. Here for your turn stocks are actually a little bit interesting. Just give you a better view of these. They have like a perfect 90-degree angle and then come back out. They work fine, but they're just a bit interesting to me. Then up here for your digital gauge cluster, it is once again fully digital. I think it looks pretty good, pretty minimal. Gives you your speedo right in the center, and you can obviously configure this a lot of different ways to get a lot of different modes and different looks up in here. But very minimal, very nice. Here for your center infotainment system, it's a bit of a squashed screen. Jaguar tends to do this. They tend to do more of a long rectangle type of infotainment screen, but I think it works pretty good. It's power right there. You have some hard buttons right here, on or off, and then yeah, it's nothing too bad. And you can actually control most of it through here. So if you don't want your screen on like that, you can actually keep it off and do most of your media stuff through the driver's digital gauge cluster. But you can also do it right through here. And overall, it's nothing too bad. There's your backup camera. Let's just check that out. It's pretty good quality, and the mirrors do turn down to assist you with that, so that's nice. Here's your dial shifter, and it does have an S for sport mode with your ZF 8-speed automatic, so that's pretty good. Down here you get a lot of physical buttons. In a 2017, you actually do get a CD player, so that's a bit late, but it's good they included it, I think. It fits right in pretty seamlessly. Then you get a couple LCDs here just for your just for your climate controls. And then overall, a lot of hard buttons. Very simple to decipher though. It's a pretty minimal interior. I actually like it. Then down here you get a couple of modes. You get your eco mode, and you get, if you push this, right over here with these buttons, you can actually change a couple of those to dynamic mode versus normal mode and eco mode. And you also get a ASDR, which stands basically for snow, and bad weather. So that's where you access those. Auto stop start, but you can turn it off, luckily, which I like, and traction off button right there. And then for your touch materials up here, right here is rock hard plastic. That actually surprises me. This, although it's an entry-level luxury SUV, it is $50-something thousand new. This should not be solid plastic, in my opinion. But the rest of it is soft touch, running all throughout. It does feel pretty good through the rest of it, but that's a spot where they very much cheaped out. However, above that, you do get a head-up display, so maybe they needed more of a firm material to base that against. I'm not sure. Then over here, you get a couple of cup holders, electronic parking brake, and if you open this here, it's a very small glove box for the center, but you do get a lot of ports in here, so that's good. 12 volt. You get micro SD port, and you get a couple Type A's and an HDMI port actually, so you could use this to view movies or technically hook up a game console to. So that's pretty cool. I don't see HDMI ports very often up here. Then for your glove box over here, it is going to be pretty basic, you know, does its job, big enough. For the seats, they have a pretty good amount of adjustment. A little bit wider of bolsters up in the torso. Thigh bolsters are pretty good, but overall they're pretty comfortable. They're a bit firm though on the lower back. I don't love that, even when I actually have the lumbar support near a minimum, and I thought it was very firm then, so I don't really like the lower back. I think it's too firm. It kind of juts out and sticks into your back a little bit. That may help for older people. I'm not really too much on the older side yet, so I'm not really the best judge of that quite yet, but in a number of years I will be. So we shall see what other people tend to think about that. But overall, that's going to be about it for the front, and let's hop in the back seat and discuss that. Alright, so here in the back seat, I have the seat where I was. I'm 6 feet tall with pretty long legs. I have decent room back here, but my knees do start to push up. I kind of have to spread my legs out to make sure I have decent room back here. Headroom is good. Elbow room is actually a bit tight though. The door juts in pretty close here. I don't love that. Not too much of a wide resting space for your arm. You kind of have to like angle your arm outward this way to make sure you have room, but that's okay. Windowsill is a little bit low on the top end, but it starts pretty low as well, so it's not claustrophobic, so that's good. Good soft touch material back here, mostly leather for this entire spot, and then yeah, similar to the front actually. Then you do get heated seats back here with 3 levels for each side, couple of ports, AC vents, no controls, but you do get climate vents. And then another cool thing, I'll show it on screen, it actually has power tilting back seats. So if you push that button right there, these seats actually move back and forth. So that's pretty cool. I don't see that very often in I'd consider this a lower end luxury SUV or vehicle. I haven't seen power ones in too many vehicles at all. So that's very, very nice. And then you do get that 2-panel sunroof back here, panoramic sunroof. Lets in a good bit of natural light, and I think that adds a good bit to it. Alrighty, and let's have a step back into the front and discuss my final thoughts. And back here in the front, for the interior of this Jaguar F-Pace, I think it looks pretty nice overall. A couple spots they did cheap out, like right here above this dash. And some of this plastic here, this is all solid plastic right here. It does have a little bit of storage cubbies down on each side, I'll give it that. But this is completely solid right here, and it runs pretty far up the center console. I wish this had padding. Some lower end cars actually do have padding here just for your knee and stuff, because all the way through here is going to be solid plastic. The rest of the interior, though, I actually like. It has a nice minimal scheme. Has 3 main color variations, which I think is generally enough. And yeah, it looks exciting, looks nice. Definitely nicer than a typical economy car. I just wish some of the later touches, I just wish they added a little bit more padding there. And then overall, maybe for up here, because this just looks a little bit like cheap plastic here. And the shift paddles, we'll see what those end up feeling like in the test drive. But I just wish they were a little bit more substantial here. But overall, for the exterior of this SUV, I think it looks very luxurious, very much stands apart from most other brands, and as Jaguar tends to do. And then, yeah, I think it looks nice, sporty, sleek. It is a smaller SUV, not the best room in the back, but that is to be expected, with a decent cargo room area. Alrighty, that'll just about wrap up this review of a 2017 Jaguar F-Pace 35T Prestige all-wheel drive. As always, thank you again to Flood Ford Lincoln in Narragansett, Rhode Island for allowing me to both review and test drive this vehicle. Now I'm going to go film a video test driving this Jaguar, so make sure to check that out, coming soon on the channel. As always, drive with passion. Thank you very much for watching, and take care.